Leamington Bertie from Bow.
And Champagne Charlie from Chingford.
The English gentleman.
With his ever so polite conversation.
Oh, good day to you, sir.
Good day to you, sir.
And his impeccable manners.
After you.
No, after you.
No, after you, I beg.
So what were you thinking? After all those rehearsals, what were you thinking? What was that?
Entertainment and the script that you wrote.
Do you know what music hall is? No.
Yeah, right.
Everyone knows Burlington Betty from Bow apart from you.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, and Somerset.
No, don't go there.
I'm not involved.
He's
Don't
not
go
involved.
there.
But
He's
wait,
not from Chingford.
Hold
Yeah.
on. So I feel like you've written these two music hall characters,
Right.
but who are they that in modern day we'd recognise?
I don't think you would.
Well, Ant and Dec.
There we go.
They're not musical.
A little bit.
But they've
the
got the
double
banter,
act.
they've got the double act, they
yeah.
work together.
So, we've got these two narrators. We set up this convention of two narrators. Ariana, you're playing narrator number 2, Samatha narrator number 1. Ariana, tell me, what's the function of your narrator character?
Yeah, so I don't know if you did this intentionally, Michael, but cleverly, I feel like Narrator 2 is almost a bit of a tool for the audience. So Narrator 2 finds out what's happening in the novella as it is going in real time, as we're seeing it. So it's almost like the character that you've written doesn't need to be ahead of the game. And if there's anything the audience is struggling to understand, so can A2, so can that character take their time with it. And so I think that's quite a clever way of writing. So it's almost the lens, the A2's lens is exactly that of the audience as we're watching the novella happen. I really love the energy and the brash and the boldness and the light sort of jokey quality of her, because it really contrasts to when we then become our characters in the novella. For example, A2 becomes Paul, and we see the gravitas and the seriousness of the actual piece, which is quite dark, isn't it?
Can I just take that up? So, Samatha,
Yes.
you, as the narrator number 1, you take on the character of Utterson, and that seems to be, in the novel, Utterson, it seems to be the main narrator of the story. How are you finding sort of changing from the narrator character, which is invented, we've invented that, into Utterson? Is that tricky?
It is. It's difficult. It can be difficult. The way that I'm seeing, the way I'm working, is that almost the narrator, both the narrator and Utterson, they have little bits of elements of each other within them. So that instead of trying to fully encapsulate, now I am a completely different person, you are seeing hints of the narrator. You're seeing hints of Utterson in the narrator and the narrator in Utterson. I guess the more and more that we work on it, the more and more that we rehearse and fully understand how are we gonna show this idea of we're now in the story and now we are telling the story. Do you see what I'm...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the relationship between you, Ariana, how do you see that relationship between you and narrator number 1? How do you see that?
Well, I mean, it's like your left hand and your right hand. You kind of need both of them in order for it to function properly. So I feel like as the script progresses, there's more tension between these two, and there's a divide, and almost A1 wants to sort of get rid of A2, a bit echoed in what happens with, obviously, with the Jekyll and Hyde, but I feel A2 does not want that to happen, because without A1, A2 can't exist.
So we're creating here a story between the narrators that kind of echoes the story of the novel,
Yeah.
but it's slightly outside. And there's a moment, Samatha, when narrator as Utterson comes face to face with
Hyde comes to face Hyde.
with Hyde, and you seem to be kind of shocked by what you see, but you're not pretending to be shocked. You're genuinely shocked at what you see. What is it, do you think? What is it that's kind of mesmerizing you? Is it just because he's so ugly, or you've never seen someone like that before? What do you, as an actor, what do you?
That's interesting.
What do you think? What are you seeing there?
Yeah, I think the way that it's written, it does make it seem like I'm mostly shocked at his appearance. I'm shocked at how he looks. The fact that I've never seen another individual who remotely resembles what he's showing.
And at that point, after the trampling of the child, when you're staring at him, what's interesting in the book is that Hyde character doesn't seem to be that bothered.
Yeah.
And I wonder whether that is the shocking part of it. Actually, you're dealing with someone who's just committed this atrocity and trampling of a child, but he doesn't seem bothered by it.
No remorse. No nothing.
No.
Yeah.
And I think, who have we got here? What is this guy? What is,
Yeah.
so maybe it's more, it's shock, but it's also, it's not sort of hatred, I don't think. I think it's kind of confusion, maybe is what I'm
Shock,
trying to work
intrigue. There's intrigue in it, and
out. A little bit, yeah. Tell me, how do you think your character knows what happens in the book?
We've only got the first sort of chunk that we've sort of seen right now, so I mean, it's hard to tell right now. I feel potentially that A2 probably could know, and is sort of like teasing out with like A2, because she's all about the entertainment, it's all about this crowd, so maybe she does know and it's all setting up jokes and whatnot, and then it will be revealed how much she does know, or it could be the opposite, where actually she knows nothing and is behind A1 on the realization of stuff. You could go both ways.
It almost seems like A2 doesn't want to, isn't trying to find out.
Yeah. Because
it's A1 that's doing all the questions. He's the one who's trying to figure out what is going on, what is this, and it's A2 questioning the A1. If you see what I mean in that aspect of things, yeah.
Yeah, maybe this, obviously you're so drawn into the morals and the complexity of this character, but maybe A2 is just all about putting on a show until our relationships becomes fractious and it's like, oh no, but what's happening here? But until that point, it's just I'm entertaining you, and we're watching this.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.